host of the Adventurous Joe Show, the Adventurous Joe himself, Joseph Michaels! And welcome to this week's Adventurous Joe Show. I'm your host, as always, the Adventurous Joe. This week we got our comic book review of The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1 trade paperback, our video game review of Borderlands-the pre-sequel from the Xbox 360, and our movie review of The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1. Just got back from seeing it. I'm going to tell you all about it. Also, our Power Rangers review of Super Mega Force's season finale. Wait till you hear my thoughts on it. If you want to see Mr. Weenie's thoughts on it and watch him rip his Super Mega Force poster in half that he has hanging on the door in the background all the time, go check out that video. I highly recommend you check it out. It's funny as hell how he does it. Also, our anime review of X-Men, the anime, for, unbelievable. This was back when Marvel started doing the whole Japanese anime style thing. This was unbelievable, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. And finally, our Cosplayer of the Week segment. Also, a huge treat at the end of the show. Okay, now let's get started. Coming up next. Alright people, it's time now for our comic book review of The Amazing Spider-Man. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's right people, the real Peter Parker, not that Doc Ock impersonating Peter Parker. The real Peter Parker is back in action. Unbelievable how this all turned out. Superior Spider-Man is gone. Thank you God. I couldn't stand that series any longer than necessary. Whew. But how it ended was pretty good. I'll give you that. This is The Amazing Spider-Man, people. Our Amazing Spider-Man. Our Peter Parker back in action. And you've got to see some of these great details. Look at this. Now, as it stands, Peter Parker is still running under the persona of being in charge of his own company now and stuff. How do you like that stuff? Plus, he's got new villains to contend with and stuff, and a new ally. I meant new allies. Doc Ock's girlfriend, the lovely little Marie, she knows Peter's secret, and she's helping him. Also, here's a new woman in town that has the same powers as Peter. Holy shit! And her name is Silk. Her name is actually Sydney, but her persona, like Spider-Man's, like Peter's, is the Amazing Spider-Man. Her persona is known as Silk. And the one thing I cannot stand about this new thing, they turned the Black Cat into a bad guy again. Or a bad girl, whichever one you want to call it. Either way, the series itself is starting off with a big boom. Because right now, the Edge of the Spider-Verse series is taking place, and now Spider-Verse is taking place, where hundreds of Spider-Men are all gathering together around our Peter Parker, our Amazing Spider-Man, to fight the ultimate evil. Are you kidding me? I can't wait to review that one. But, however, there's one catch to this one. One big catch, okay? The storyline's a little bland. What? Are you serious? An Amazing Spider-Man storyline bland? Seriously, it's a little bland. Not only does he have to prove to the Avengers again that he is who he says he is, he also has to fight Electro and the Black Cat, which she almost reveals his identity to the world. Seriously, she strips him of his mask and literally is holding him, waiting for the camera to come on his face and shit. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is something I would expect out of Venom, not Peter Parker's former lover. I'm like, gee, a Chrysler. It's like Marvel took and went in reverse with this one. They says, okay, let's just turn Black Cat back into the bad guy again. Have her hate Spider-Man for all it's worth. Okay, they did it. Piece of junk. I am not a happy person. Okay? Black Cat has always been a favorite of mine over Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy and stuff. Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, has always been a favorite of mine compared to how Peter has all of his different loves and love interests and stuff. Her and him were like the perfect item, you know, together. He turned her from a life of crime into a good guy again. And made her start working with him, fighting alongside him and shit. He knew about her secret that when she was in college that she was raped and stuff. He knew all these things, okay? And yet she's back to hating him like they're back to being in the past when they were fighting against each other. What the hell, Marvel? Seriously, what the hell? Oh, unbelievable. Now, as much as I'm happy that the Amazing Spider-Man, our real Peter Parker, is back in action, I am greatly disappointed in this. I am seriously greatly disappointed in this. So far, the first six issues is terrible. The storyline very bland, and everything else I can think of for it. All I can tell you right now is that it's not worth $17.99. Get it on Amazon for pretty damn cheap. I'm serious. You can get it for $14.95 and only have to pay a couple dollars for shipping and still get it for almost the cover price. But still, this one is not working well, okay? The Spider-Verse storyline is better than this, okay? To start things off and say, hey, Peter Parker's back, people. Our real Peter Parker is back. Our Amazing Spider-Man. And have him fight against his ex-lover. Have it, Doc Ock's ex-lover, you being partnered with him and knowing all of his secrets and shit like that. I am just like, what the hell, Marvel? And Black Cat, of all people, turning her back into a villain, having her assemble all these other villains as if she was Doc Ock. Oh. Okay, in the words of Stan Lee, enough said. This is getting its final verdict, and my final verdict is a 6 out of 10. I am sorry to say that, but I love Amazing Spider-Man. I hated Superior Spider-Man up to Yin Yang, up until its ending, where he got his body back, Peter's back to normal, so on and so forth. But this is not worth $17.99 and not worth the powder to blow it to frickin' hell. 6 out of 10 is my final verdict. Nope, it's got a lot of badass stuff in it, funny moments and everything. So we'll give it the badass seal of approval as well. But, highly recommendation? No. I give it a low recommendation because this damn thing was horrible to start with. Okay? Amazing Spider-Man should be awesome, epic, and entirely encouraging to read. Not be like a, really? That happened? Terrible. You know? What the fuck, people? Come on, Marvel! And Dan Slott, of all the people on this damn thing, him, in charge of Amazing Spider-Man, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Final verdict on the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1 trade paperback is a 6 out of 10. Now, let's move on to our video game review. Coming up next. Borderlands, the pre-sequel for the Xbox 360. Borderlands. Okay, now, before we show you some nice game footage and stuff and tell you more about this game, let me tell you right now, 2K, What the hell is wrong with your staff? Seriously. Ugh. It took them almost a month to get back to me about a season pass code. Okay, I got this voucher from frickin' PAX Prime and shit. Okay, that you go on the website, enter the dingy little code, and they're supposed to email you the code for the season pass. Guess what, people? Yours truly had to pay $29.99 to get the damn season pass. Ugh. Because they sent me the wrong freaking code. It was a code for one of the DLC packs, not the season pass. One of the DLC packs, in fact, the very one that comes with this game, if you pre-ordered it. Either way, the game was fun. I enjoyed playing this game. I love the Borderlands games. It's fun to play online with friends. It's fun to play through the storyline by yourself. It's fun to play co-op, especially if you play the one little robot dude and stuff against other people and everything. That robot has a foul mouth up the yin-yang, for God's sake. Seriously. Either way, let's check out that gameplay footage now, and I will tell you more about what's going on with this game. As you can see, people, this game is pretty much the same as all Borderlands games, except it's a pre-sequel, which means it tells a different story. Before Handsome Jack became the evil, maniacal bastard that he is, and so on and so forth, before Moxie, was older looking and so on and so forth, but it's still hot as hell. Seriously, even in this, the younger version of her is hot as hell. It's hard to believe she's got 2 kids that are freaking psychopathic killers. Jesus! Either way you look at it, the gameplay itself is great. Still the same like Borderlands and Borderlands 2, but you got more new choices in weapons. You got customizing features and so on and so forth, just like in the old ones. But there's much more to this one than meets the eye. For one, the whole story takes place on the moon. The moon! Look, the moon! You know, that kind of moon. Even like the cow jumping over the moon, you know. Cow jumped over the moon. Never mind. Either way, gameplay on this one, still great. The storyline, pretty good. But, funny as hell, you know. It's funny how the robot interacts with people and stuff. It's funny how the characters interact and everything. And it's kind of goofballed because it takes the prequel storyline, pre-sequel, excuse me, and turns it into like a full-blown game experience like none other. Bouncing on the moon, trying to do a basketball, dunk on the moon, and so on and so forth. It's just craziness all over the place. You also meet interesting characters. You find out about certain things that will lead up into what is going to be Borderlands 2, or the whole bullshit with Borderlands itself, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a lot going on with this game that meets the eye. Seriously. Either way, the story, great. Language barriers, incredible. I mean, even when the robot is swearing, it's funny as hell. I mean, he's blowing away bad guys and he's going, "Take that, you clanking sons of bitches!" And I'm like, holy cripes, this robot knows how to swear. Swears like he's a drunken sailor all the time. Seriously. He packs a wall up. The guys themselves, the women themselves, all pack a wall up. I mean, but the robot himself just literally, he will go around literally cleaning clock on everything. Shoot up the bad guys. He shot one guy's head off and he goes, "Boom! How you like that, motherfucker?" And I was like, "Oh, holy cripes!" Either way, my final verdict for the Adventurous Show's video game review of Borderlands the pre-sequel, we're going with a slamming 10 out of 10. I loved this game. Now, it's the same as all the Borderlands games and stuff. However, it's got a great storyline to it. It's funny how the present timeline and the past timeline converge on one another, talking about all the bullshit that's happened and so on and so forth. How Handsome Jack was this great guy and, you know, kind of a cool person and so on and so forth, before he became the asshole we all know in Borderlands and Borderlands 2. So, finally, on Borderlands, the pre-sequel, we're going with 10 out of 10. Badass seal of approval, and highly recommend you get it for your Borderlands collection. Play it to your heart's content. Okay, people, now it's time to move on to our movie review of The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1. Coming up. It's time now for our movie review of The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1. And I gotta tell you, I am unbelievably satisfied. Seriously, I liked the first two Hunger Game movies, but this one, you know, it feels a little more exciting. Seriously, more fighting, more battles against the enemies, and so on and so forth. As it stands right now, The Hunger Games Mockingjay is the storyline to end the Hunger Games trilogy. However, just like the Twilight the Twilight movies and the Twilight book, it ends the third movie in a two-parter. Jesus criminy, are you kidding me? Who comes up with these dumb ideas? Now, in the case of the Avengers Infinity War thingy, okay, I can understand that. That's actually a better way to split the story in half and stuff like that. And introduce new characters. However, this is too much. It's just like Twilight. Except, I'm hoping the second part of Mockingjay is not going to be ended in some stupid dream sequence or something. Seriously! Twilight ended in a stupid dream sequence where it was all just a fucked up, nightmarish dream for the head of the evil vampires. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Jesus, I could not believe this story any further than necessary. Okay, but back on topic. The Hunger Games Part 1 of Mockingjay is unbelievable. Now, Katniss, as you all know, played by Jennifer Lawrence, does not want to be part of the Hunger Games anymore. She's done with them. She is tired of them. She never really wanted to be a part of it, but she did it to save her sister from being in it. She did it to help Peeta stay alive and so on and so forth. And now she's sick of it. She's joined the rebellion, and it turns out the guy she was in love with and everything that supposedly was dead in the second Hunger Games movie and stuff, okay, it turns out the son of a bitch is still alive, and he's working for the enemy. He's telling the rebels to lay down their arms and surrender and stuff. That you have my word, no harm will actually come to you, and all this blah 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 blah. And I says, oh my God, why? Why? I remember reading in the book about it, but the movie itself was just unbelievable. The action itself was unbelievable. I love how she takes her bow along with this other guy and shoots these fucking glider-looking things out of the air. Okay, these jet-looking glide things out of the air. It was just fantastic. And I'm hoping part 2 is not going to end just like Twilight's ending did. Okay? I want this to be spectacular. I want it to be incredible. And right now, I'm telling you, on Mockingjay Part 1, I'm going with an 8 out of 10. I love the Hunger Games. I've always loved reading the books and so on and so forth. But the movies themselves are much to be desired, okay? Mockingjay Part 1 is getting an 8 out of 10. Badass seal of approval, and I'm telling you right now, we're going to highly recommend you check it out if you're a big fan of the Hunger Games. If you have seen it, just like I just got back from seeing it and stuff, put it down in the comments below. We want to know your opinion on it. If you don't think it's worth an 8 out of 10, why don't you tell us what you really think about it? And then we'll take it from there. Until then, that's my final verdict on the Hunger Games. Mockingjay Part 1. We're going with an 8 out of 10. Badass seal of approval for the best action sequences in it. Storyline, a little clumped up at the moment. But either way, it's good. Highly recommend you check it out for yourselves. And like I said, if you've already seen it, let us know in those comments down below. Okay. Now, let's get on to our Power Rangers review of Super Mega Force's season finale. Coming up next.
Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers!
Alright people, it's time now for our Power Rangers review of the Super Mega Force season finale. I will tell you right now, Legendary Battle or Legendary War? No. No. Of this whole season, it's promised legendary things to happen, okay? That is not the case here. And I mean, unbelievable. Okay, great that all these Rangers were coming together again and stuff. But the rest were all just for show. Seriously. They never took their helmets off and shit. Tommy took his off. The Red Lightspeed Rescue Pink Rangers, Pink Ranger took her helmet off. So on and so forth. But, come on. A short-lived fight. Unbelievable. Saban, what happened here? Seriously. When they showed it was supposed to be what was considered the end for Megaforce, and showed the legendary battle, all the legendary Rangers together and so on and so forth in the Sentai version, and then introduced the Pirate Rangers and so on and so forth. Okay? It was epic! It had more to it! This one is just like, what the fuck happened? That's it? How? What? Did I miss something here? Apparently I missed a lot. Okay? Because all of a sudden Robo Knight was back after he supposedly died. Not to mention the other things. I mean, come on, people. Legendary Ranger modes. They introduced more of these unknown Power Rangers, which were the Sentai versions of certain Ranger seasons and stuff like that, than they did anything else. RPM was used maybe 3 times in the whole damn series. Mighty Morphin used maybe twice. I was just disappointed, okay? Legendary Ranger mode. It was supposed to be great. It was supposed to be epic. Seeing them turn into these different Power Rangers over the past 20 years. And it turned out to be flop. Unbelievable, Saban. Come on. Your fans expect more of this. You know, expect more great things from you and stuff. Not, what the hell? I am just greatly disappointed right now. I waited all season long for 2 years. Okay? 2 years. You made it such hype. You built it up and so on and so forth. And it turned out to be crap. Seriously, what the frack? I loved Super Mega Force on certain levels. Megaforce was okay, but it still didn't explain a lot. Super Megaforce, same thing. How is it they got these pirate modes and so on and so forth? Ugh. Unreal. It's just unreal. And if you've seen the teaser for the teaser commercial that aired after Super Megaforce went off for Dino Charge, thank God they do not do that stupid dance. Oh my God, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to on that one, is that they don't do that stupid dance. Oh my God. In the Sentai versions, I still could not understand why they did that stuff. When they go, it's morphin' time, and then morph into the Rangers. Are you freaking kidding me? I am so glad Sentai is not our American Power Rangers, okay? Our American Power Rangers Dino Charge is better, okay? I took out the dancing part, thank God for that, okay? I saw the teaser for that and stuff. My show actually got to air the trailer that was shown at Power Morphicon and stuff, thanks to Saban Entertainment and stuff. But come on, people. Please, for the love of God. Now, Super Megaforce has had an epic season and a not so epic season. Certain things still not explained. Why is it Troy could see the legendary battle before it even took place? How is it he knew Robo Knight would be there? You know, how is it he was dreaming of all this stuff? None of it was ever explained. Same thing with the Legendary Ranger mode of turning into the pirate modes and stuff. Super Mega mode, they called it. Okay? What the hell, people? Seriously, what the hell? Ugh. Now, I know the show's aimed towards kids more than adults and so on and so forth, but come on. This could have been more better. Now, somebody said something about there's going to be an extended version on Nicktoons Monday night, okay? I'll have to watch it and see what it's like, but I'm telling you right now, this one felt so rushed, so half-assed done. I felt bad for it. I was like, what the hell? And on top of that, the Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger himself, Tommy Oliver, Jason David Frank, who we all know and love, on certain levels, he hardly had a damn fight scene. Seriously. He barely had a fight scene. We saw more of the Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger in action when Orion turned into him than we saw in this legendary battle of so-called sorts. Unbelievable. I can't stand no more. I'm sorry. As Stan Lee says, enough said. Well, guess what, people? My final verdict on the Super Mega Force season, Mr. Weenie went with a 0 out of 10. He hates it completely. My final verdict for it all is a 5 out of 10. I thought things would get better. They did for a while on sort of an epic scale and sort of not of an epic scale. But come on. Seriously, come on. This felt so rushed, so half-assed, so done, and just plain done. Okay? I love Power Rangers, but Super Mega Force just killed it. Okay? Seriously. And now Dino Charge is coming out next year, and I'm hoping to God it turns out great. At least they don't have that stupid dancing. I watched one clip from where they were morphing into their Ranger modes, and it did not have that stupid dance. Thank God for that. Okay, now let's get on to our anime review. Coming up next. For our our anime review. And for this week's anime review, we're reviewing Marvel Japan's X-Men. Holy Mother of God. It's the first time Marvel, a couple years back, Marvel started introducing us into Japanese anime versions of their own characters and stuff. We went from Iron Man to Wolverine and so on and so forth. X-Men, unbelievable. Okay? It plays out just like the Phoenix storyline did and stuff. Jean Grey's dead and so on and so forth. Emma Frost comes into the picture and you know, just things colliding with one another. The story was pretty good. Bringing in the mutant named Armor, she actually, her storyline was different from how it was told in the comics. Seriously different. But the anime version of it was pretty damn good. And I loved it. I loved how this was all well done. I loved how Emma Frost and all the other female characters were drawn perfectly and stuff. I loved how Scott Summers, Wolverine, and so on and so forth were all perfectly well drawn. For being Japanese anime of all things, this turned out to be epically damn good. Bravo, Marvel. Bravo. Okay. But there's a downside. It only lasted 13 episodes and no further. What? Seriously, for a Japanese anime version of X-Men, I would have expected it to have a whole damn series. Seriously, I would have expected it to go on to maybe a season 1 completion and then go on to a season 2 and so on and so forth. But no, that never happened. It ends with 13 episodes and it turns out you're fighting against Charles Xavier's own kid. What the hell, people? Seriously, what the hell happened here? This anime was epic, great, badass, and I mean it, badass, especially in some of the action sequences and stuff. But come on. It only was 13 episodes and ends on almost a cliffhanger type ending. Never real anything sorted out and stuff. Like, are they going to catch these mutant haters? Aren't they going to do anything else? Are they going to rebuild the school? So on and so forth. None of that happened in the ending. It just blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. Either way, my final verdict for this one, for our anime review, is an 8 out of 10. I loved this series. It's getting a badass seal of approval, and I highly recommend you check it out if you can find it online. I think you can find it through Netflix or one of them, under Marvel Anime or something like that. Either way, it's a great series. It was pretty good, but only 13 episodes, and issues unresolved. Seriously, there was even a spot in one of the episodes where Emma and Scott are talking, and talking about things of the past and stuff, and talking about how they could try and rebuild so they'd have a future and so on and so forth. And that was shown right there. Hello, romantic interest here and so on and so forth. But no, it never extended. Either way, T.A.J.S. is giving you the badass seal of approval, X-Men, and highly recommend you check it out, and an 8 out of 10 for our final verdict. So, there you have it for this week's anime review. We'll see you all next week for our next one. Until then, it's time now to get on to our Cosplayer of the Week segment, the final part of the show. Coming up next. Alright people, it's time now for our Cosplayer of the Week segment. And And this lovely young lady has cosplayed a lot of awesome things. And her cosplay name is MissPiratesavvy. Seriously, she goes by the name MissPiratesavvy. Either way, she's a very lovely young woman. She does an incredible job on her cosplaying and so on and so forth. And I can't say much more than that. I mean, there's not much more to say. I mean, what's not to love about her and stuff? She's an awesome lady. Seriously. And a great cosplayer. Either way, we're introducing you now to MissPiratesavvy. You can enjoy her pics, and we will be inducting her into this year's T.A.J.S Cosplayers Hall of Fame, which will be holding a nice little ceremonial video, so on and so forth, at the end of the season, or more like as our New Year's special like last year, except this one will be all the cosplayers of the week from both last year when we started this to this year's. Awesome. Either way you look at it, people, enjoy the pics, and I'll see you for the ending part of the show because I got a special treat I told you that I would be introducing you to. Either way, enjoy. Cosplayer of the Week. Now, I have a special treat for you all that I'm going to be showing you after I depart, and I hope you all enjoy it. Big courtesy and thank you to Marvel Comics, Marvel Studios, excuse me, for allowing us to show it and sending a copy to us so we could see it for ourselves. It was incredible, and I just can't say no more. I can't say no more than that. You'll have to see what I'm talking about when it's time. And either way, also, I want to send a huge congratulations to 2 of our cosplayers of the week for this year. Spencer Doe and Lindsay Elaine just announced that they are now a couple. I love it, people. I love it. 2 awesome cosplayers, 2 great friends of mine. I can't believe it. I loved every moment of hearing this, that they were telling everyone that they're so happy together and so on and so forth. Congrats, you 2. Congrats. And congrats to our cosplayer of the week for this week. I am so sorry, got tongue-tied there. MissPiratesavvy. She will also be inducted into the T.A.J.S Cosplayers Hall of Fame and is an honorary first inductee member, along with others of the cosplayer force, to join the Cosplayer Force. It's an epic little page we're putting together on Facebook. Cosplayers of all kinds can go there, whether you're new, old cosplayers, it doesn't matter. You can all go on there, post your pics, tell people about upcoming conventions you're going to, and so on and so forth. Show pics of your upcoming cosplays and or cosplay ideas and everything. This page is all for them. I'm serious, people. Now, we're looking for 5 good admins to handle it while yours truly introduces and adds more and so on and so forth. Either way, we'll be telling you more about it when that one comes around. And that's it for our show for this week. Next week is our annual Loot Crate unboxing for this month. And next month, in December, we are going to have Christmas stuff. Seriously. Christmas movie reviews, Christmas kid reviews, so on and so forth. It's a lot of good Christmas stuff coming your way. And now, without further ado, my little surprise to you from Marvel Studios. Peace out. May the Force be with you. And may the power protect you all. See you next week.
I'm gonna show you something beautiful. Everyone screaming for mercy. You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. You're all puppets, tangled in strings.
It's the end. The end of the path I started us on.
Nothing lasts forever.
There are no strings on me.